Peter, before I start, if it's okay that I switch off my video for the presentation, some bandwidth issues on my end.
Yeah,
Just
you can see your
all right,
screen.
all right,
We'll just make it a bit bigger. There we go. That's it.
all right, all right. Thank you, Peter. All right, we'll begin now.
Okay.
India, the land of infinity. With over 1.3 billion people that speak over 1,400 different languages and belong to more than 2,000 ethnic groups, India will dazzle you in its very first look.
The Indian growth story is not limited to the multitude of its cultures or the brilliance of its population, but the contribution of each and every individual in leading India to its growth and prosperity.
Today, India is the world's fastest growing nation, leading innovation in technology, agriculture, science, and research.
5,000 years of history have nourished the growth of a great civilization. But now, in an era of globalization and growth, what course the history takes remains to be unfolded. And this is where we step in.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Tanisha, and let me take you to the roots of Project Udaan. I was brought up in a remote village, Savroli. Because of limited access to quality education, I had to travel 25 kilometers on a daily basis for over a decade to reach my school. Soon, the roads of the villages were replaced by trains when I reached BITS Pilani, India's premier engineering college. It was then that I realized the stark digital divide between city dwellers and rural populace. I felt left behind when my contemporaries proved to be highly proficient in computers. I went to work with leading names in finance, but something was still lacking. This desire to create an impact led me to IIM Ahmedabad, one of India's best MBA institute. And that is where I met Ayush.
Before we progress, Utkarsh, there's a black screen on the right-hand side. Please take care of it. Yeah, so to be honest, I still remember the first time I met Tanisha. Having worked with multiple international social organizations before in New Delhi, I was cognizant of the deep-rooted desires of the urban population. But not being there myself, I could only imagine how isolated remote villages in India could be. But listening to her story and ideas, it really kindled my inner entrepreneur. And owing to our relevant experience, I was sure we could make an impact together. As we shared our cause, we were fortunate to be joined by two equally passionate individuals, Utkarsh and Bhavik, and together infusing our managerial talent with the passion for United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, we founded Project Udaan, meaning flight.
The world generated 54 million tons of e-waste in 2019 alone. And that is equivalent to 4,500 Eiffel Towers. This number is expected to grow up to 75 million ton by 2030. Only 17% of this e-waste was recycled, and the remaining 44 million ton is not even accounted for. And we see this happening in our own eyes in the world's largest democracy. While on one hand, India dumps 1 million tons of computer every year, over 60% of India is still not on the internet, and 9% of Indians do not have access to computers. It was this irony that gave birth to Project Udaan.
To explore the issue at its core, we connected with experts to understand the flow of e-waste in India. We found that producers manufacture devices containing precious metals, which makes them liable to operate under e-waste stewardship regulations. It further holds them responsible for the effective disposal of the e-waste. The products then move to the retailers, who link the manufacturers to the end consumers. Consumers fall under two broad segments. First are the individuals and the households who have little awareness about appropriate e-waste disposal. They either exchange their devices through retailers or send them to the landfills through scrap. Second are corporates and businesses who purchase the devices in bulk. While they remain accountable for proper e-waste disposal, Many of them shrug off their responsibilities, leaving it for the scrap dealers. The e-waste collectors operate a highly informal industry and are faced with irregular supply. While the entire chain is laced with issues, it is at the recovery stage that the entire potential of the e-waste is lost forever. Majority of these units rely on primitive recycling technologies, recovering only a fraction of the valuable materials from the waste. Despite legal barriers, a lot of these units employ women and underage children in hazardous working conditions. The unrecycled parts are incinerated or dumped in landfills, leading to permanent environmental damage.
E-waste management in India is at its breaking point. Seeing opportunity amid systemic failures, we created Project Udan. The vision of Udan is to augment the recycling of e-waste through recollection, refurbishment, and reintroduction of refurbished IT equipment and materials into the economy. Project Udan works in 3 stages. The first stage is recollection. Following a 3-pronged strategy, we intercept e-waste before it is even discarded and collect it from corporates, residential associations, and online portals. The second stage is recovery, that is recycling and refurbishment. Project Udan implements a 2-tier strategy, augmenting recovery units through technological infusion and formalizing the entire unorganized sector through financial inclusion. The third stage, which completes the loop, is reintroduction. It leads to dual-facet development, that is, environmental development by reduction of e-waste ending in landfills and social development through creation of Udan labs.
First, we move to stage 1, that is of recollection. Project Udan procures discarded e-waste from corporates. Given the mandate of proper e-waste disposal in multiple geographies, we would also form long-term partnerships for offering refurbishment services to these corporates. With maximum potential for e-waste recovery, Udan taps into the pool of residential welfare associations and households to collect e-waste from urban households. These households, generating upwards of 20 kilograms of e-waste on an yearly basis, would be the prime targets for us. To make the e-waste contribution convenient for other institutions, such as educational bodies and government bodies, Udan would channelize donations through an online portal and first and later through a mobile application. Now, we move to the second stage of recovery, that is recycling and refurbishment. Through secondary data sources and expert inputs, we tracked the movement of e-waste and mapped the major e-waste hubs in India. It led us back to the capital city of New Delhi, and within Delhi to the bustling slum or squatter of Selampur, India's digital underbelly. While the progress has been thwarted due to COVID-19 in India, we have sought discussions with the Delhi Urban Shelter Improvement Board, Delhi government's apex slum welfare body, to catalyze our operations and gain government patronage.
The Indian e-waste ecosystem is characterized by small, fragmented, and unorganized entities. With the presence of Project Udan, these recyclers and refurbishment centers would be organized into Udan units, benefiting through financial investment and technological infusion. In addition to informal units, we will also be working closely with local recovery units, providing them with our patented technology and technological guidance. A large constraint for existing recovery units is the lack of investment. Project Udan would provide impact loans for setting up new units, scaling up operations, and adopting our patented technology.
Project Udan lies at the forefront of new technologies in the recovery space, being the first one in India to propose a sonic recover method for technological infusion. Not only is sonic recover economical, cleaner, and fit for all scales and sizes, it is also 1.5 times more efficient than the conventional thermal recycling. Sonic recover embraces a trinity of environmental outcomes, facilitating significantly higher recovery of metals and other materials, no harmful emissions into the environment, and water-friendly operations.
Now, we come to the third stage of reintroduction. Sonic recovery undoubtedly has immense potential for environmental development. The recycled materials would be channelized back into the system through partnerships and corporate connections. However, Uran also contributes to social development through economic progress. This twin benefit of environmental and social progress are the two facets of the dual impact created by Uran. On the social front, we will collaborate with district administration bodies to identify the needs of specific villages in the region. After the village has been identified, we would leverage the network of the local NGOs to reintroduce the refurbished IT equipment. While rural areas have a higher level of educated females, these are also patriarchal ecosystems. Women are often seen as homemakers and are not allowed to work in the very cities they got educated in. In extreme cases, educated women are called back to villages to stay at home or get married. By collaborating with NGOs, Udan aims to empower women by organizing them into self-help groups. SHGs collectively contribute capital to provide ownership to its members. And leveraging the refurbished computers provided at a concessional rate as loaned equipment to the women, the project will set up Udan labs in the villages with women leading the operations as entrepreneurs.
Realizing the full potential of Udan Labs in alignment with government's Digital India mission, we would transform into common service centers or CSCs. CSCs are the delivery point of all government services, improving governance from agribusiness, identification, and scholarship applications for children. As we scale up, we will partner with the Central Indian government under the National Rural Livelihoods Mission scheme for replication of Udan as a truly community financed model. In alignment with the Skill India mission, Udan Labs would deliver opportunities for creating employment through reskilling and cross trainings for young adults. Udan Labs would serve as a hub of primary education for children, where knowledge is imparted through computer-aided, open-source content in local languages and vernacular. Specialized courses in accounting software like Tally would be provided to young adults, improving their overall employability. To further benefit the villagers, cyber cafe services would be made available at the labs. These three channels form the primary revenue streams and ensure regular income for all the women entrepreneurs leading the Udan Labs.
The business model is further cemented through innovation. At every stage, innovation and Udan go hand in hand. Under technology, Sonic Recover is years ahead of its time. With its deployment, Udan aligns itself with the mission of circular economy by closing the loop in the management of e-waste in the economy. Further, it boosts reverse logistics by channelizing the recycled materials back to the manufacturers.
Under social innovation, Udan Labs aim to empower rural women to become entrepreneurs, enabling them to live a better and a more socially acceptable life. Vocational courses create employability for the youth and ensure that every child who has the desire to gain quality education has the access to technology as well.
Finally, there is innovation in the business model itself. Udan offers a refurbishment as a service or RAS to corporates and businesses. RAS provides an effective way for companies to focus on core operations and transfer their e-waste disposal responsibility to 3PL partners who specialize in these. It also allows them to widen their corporate social responsibility or CSR footprints to create a triple bottom line impact.
Modularity and applicability across geographies lies at the heart of Udan, and the model is capable of working even with individual elements in absence of the required conditions. While Udan has potential to transform entire economies with all its elements activated, these can be contextualized to individual countries and local geographies. To understand this further, let us take the use case of Australia. Multitude of government schemes indicate a high degree of congruence between the government's goals of circular economy and Udan's objectives. Akin to developed countries around the world, Australia also has an e-waste problem. While e-waste management market is estimated to reach nearly 4 billion Australian dollars by 2027, A large portion of this e-waste is exported to developing countries, failing to close the loop. For illustration, we note that entire Udan model can be activated in Australia in the long run. In stage 1 of recollection, we can progress primarily by targeting corporate entities through the RAS model and also partner with accredited collection mechanisms on a national levels by multiple schemes. In stage 2 of recovery, we will not only target the large recycling players accredited by the government, but also create employment opportunities for marginalized communities through financial infusion and promotion of grassroots entrepreneurship. Finally, in stage 3 of reintroduction, the major focus would be on closing the loop and moving Australia towards the circular zero in line with the national waste management policy. However, given over 75% digital penetration, the social development channel through Udan Labs would not be activated unless tangible benefit for the same is established through need identification surveys in local geographies.
And it is not only Australia. Udan's modularity and replicability make it a truly scalable model across geographies and products. Based on global e-waste management trends and expert insights, full-scale commercialization at a global scale would return the benefits of financial returns and ESG impact to the investors. In the medium term, we target India, China, and the US as the biggest markets for global expansion, mapping the most underdeveloped areas in the proximity of the major e-waste hubs in India. We Udan will expand to 2 states by June 2021. Within a year from that, by June 2022, Udan will be addressing the key national priorities in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and go truly national.
Udan takes all its stakeholders into account, creating an investment-ready model with sound financial results. In India alone, in an 8-year time horizon, we have an NPV of 6.3 million Australian dollars and a break-even of 1.2 years, showing significant profit potential. The initial downfall and shortfall in operational expenditures will be covered with funding received, collaborations, and partnerships. Government, with its latest initiative in social development and infrastructure, has mapped out a series of incentives, including a recent $380 trillion relief package in light of COVID relief and economic upliftment. Udan fares exceptionally well, not only in financials, but also operationally and in other dimensions. To prove the same, we took flight in the pandemic to bring tangible change in the new normal.
The Indian pilot of Udan was conducted till September 2020 in a village which is extremely close to all of our hearts, the same Savroli village where Udan's first seeds were sown. We organized a collection drive and gathered personal computers and laptops and deposited them with a local recovery unit. Testing a key hypothesis, many recovery units offered us working computers in exchange for the e-waste collecting. Through local contacts and community leadership programs, we gained an informal go-ahead for the project with the village governing body as well. And in no time, the Udan lab was set up with our local NGO partners. The impact was huge, but don't hear it from us, hear it from our Udan family.
पहले दूर जाना पड़ता था और अब सेंटर गांव में कोई नहीं वजह से अभी सारी सुविधा में गांव में ही मिलने
सरकारी सभी सुविधाएं आसान से मिलती
उड़ान ने दी है मेरे सपनों को उड़ान
Udan gives the weakest in patriarchy a platform to achieve.
Udan gives the quietest of students their own voice.
Udan gives meaning to the dreams of thousands.
Udan creates extraordinary success with ordinary lives.
The Udan story is not just limited to the social development, but it also leverages the advancement in technology for overwhelming environmental impact. With people at its core, the Udan model is truly a circular one.
As we stand here representing Project Udan, we wish to highlight not just the quantitative impact and business strength of our model, but also the magnitude of passion and commitment exhibited by the 4 people here and more than 10 of those who stand behind us.
We choose to raise our voices on behalf of those who do not have the opportunity to do so.
We choose to identify not only with the powerful, but also the powerless.
Going beyond limits, we aim to generate wings from the ashes of hopelessness to multiply happiness across generations. Enabling a multitude of communities to write their stories of resilience. We have worked in diverse circumstances in this pandemic, creating change that is dynamic through business that is sound to create impact that is all pervasive.
And this course of bringing a positive change has been a beautiful journey,
Sorry, you
a
can come.
journey called
Stop.
Udan.
Sorry, you're running out of time.
Good luck.
Thank you.